Hey y'all, welcome back. My name is Lou. I am a wellness girly, and if you are a wellness girly too, welcome. I have a lot in store. I be trying to block people. I'm not even gonna lie. It's like advocating for it, but I know that there are a lot of flaws. Sorry, can't help you there. I've been a dietitian for a while now.
Hey, how y'all doing?
It has been so long, and truthfully, there is no real reason because I have never really been consistent with YouTube. And that was never the goal. It really was just to help people in their career. And I was still trying to kind of figure out where I fit in here. But I have so much to share. And I have my iPad here with me just because I'm trying to be intentional. To start off, just a few life updates. Number one, Noah is now 2 years old. He's grown. We're in the phase where he's learning to regulate his emotions, and it is challenging. But I'm learning through the process and through the time. So that has just been such a great blessing in our lives. Just watching him grow and watching him develop. Last year, 2024, I went through a season of profound, tremendous, large, a lot, grand, just loss. It was just a really tough season. And through that time of loss, which I'll probably continue to share about later down in future videos, I was able to really focus and refocus my life on things that really matter to me. Hey y'all, I'm doing another video diary, long overdue. I'm paying attention to the road. Noah's in the back, so you might hear him occasionally. Wow. I don't know what I wanted to talk about the last time I wanted to record one of these, but right now, in this moment, what am I feeling? My heart feels raw. And I know I was already kind of close, but I feel as though that season kind of highlighted it a little bit more for me. So you guys already know it. But one thing that's really important to me, really close to my heart, is wellness. And I've always kind of talked about wellness generally. But as the year was ending last year, I was really able to kind of hone in on 4 areas of wellness for me specifically, and 4 areas of wellness that I'll likely share from. The first being mental health, mental wellness. That's something that I find really important, not just going to therapy, but sitting with yourself, processing your thoughts, processing your emotions, how to do that, and how to do it effectively. If you can hear me, it's probably loud or whatever. But this is another video diary. I'm just feeling really sad today. That's something that I have learned a lot through this season, because one question I always often get is how are you doing? How are you processing? And I realized there are moments where I'm doing a lot better, and there are times where I'm realizing that I'm processing as I go. There is no real end point to grieving loss. There is just a navigation through it. So mental health wellness being the first one. The second one being physical wellness. I'm a gym girly through and through. I love working my body. I love the toughness. I love the endurance. I love pushing it to the limits. I just see the reward of it. It helps with my mental health. It helps, me just feel grounded in general. And I just see the positive reward. And now, as we are continuously building our family, I see the importance of being able to be physically well, while raising a child, because it's not easy. I am even still realizing how much strength I need in order to now carry a 2 year old up and down in a townhouse. That's just not easy. Anyways, so mental health wellness, physical wellness, relational wellness, just being a good wife, being a good friend, being a good daughter, being a good mentor, being a good employee. Keeping up with relationships is one of my core values. I really when you talk about your guiding star, that is a star that really just guides me, and not just in relationships that I have, like my friendships. I think about like people I don't know. Like, am I being a good person to the people that I don't know? Am I being a good person to the people that meet me on one occasion? Those are things that I really am like just constantly thinking about. And the last one is spiritual wellness, which I'll also talk about more in this video. Okay, so taking you guys a little bit deeper into what I've been processing. One thing I've constantly told my therapist since probably like 2 years since I've been working with her is that my main goal in life is to live intentionally and to live slowly. I know the slow trend is probably feels trendy, but sometimes I realize I don't really try to what would I say? I wouldn't try to like push against trends. Like if a trend hits you or you find yourself in it, it's okay. Like I don't feel like sometimes everything has to be unique. It's okay. Like living slowly, living intentionally, that resonates with me. And because that resonates with me, I was figuring out what that looks like for me. And I would go through like my sessions just like constantly bringing up this idea of living slowly and my desire for it. So how I've kind of been able to kind of navigate that is through this constant theme of wellness and just working through my perception and my thoughts around wellness, and how to activate that in my life. So living slowly, living intentionally aligns with wellness, which aligns with those 4 pillars of wellness that I spoke about. And I am trying to live life less online. I always say it because I don't keep social media on my phone. I keep it on my iPad, but then ask me how long I'm on my iPad. Girl, but it's the aspect of not having it accessible as I would like usually have it on my phone. But I just always would say that I like myself more when I'm not on social media, like when it's not on my phone. Not saying like um, I can't use it. It's more so like I think there's a limit of how much information I want to consume of other people's lives. Like I want to be an expert on my life, my family, my friends, my relationships. And I find that I'm able to do that and focus that a little bit more when I don't have social media as accessible. I love social media for the access, the conversations that it has given us, but I just find that that's how I want to utilize it in a way that feels a little more intentional for me. Now I want to just talk about some things that you've seen from me on this channel and kind of just giving an update there. I love my career in nutrition. I find it so fulfilling. It aligns again with those 4 pillars, specifically in physical wellness. I feel like nutrition kind of fits well just with who I am. I'm so grateful for the career. I'm always like advocating for it, but I know that there are a lot of flaws with the career in nutrition and dietetics. But for me personally, I do not wish I went into another field. I love it. I just love everything about what I do. I no longer take patients in my private practice. I can always open it back up. I have a really fulfilling career right now in what I do with nutrition, and I just want to focus on that. And I have my hands in a lot of other things, and my outlet in nutrition just happens to be with my career. I don't really want to do as much with private practice right now. And I've just kind of also just found that my niche, my area of expertise is just working with the kiddos, like pediatric nutrition. I just love that. I love working with kids. I love the information behind it. I love everything associated with it. And I'm also grateful that there is more information available regarding adult nutrition. So if you want information, everything that they're saying that you see online, not everything, a lot of it is accurate. But I do feel like I was able to equip a lot of the patients that I was seeing with information that they could utilize futuristically. As I've been able to kind of narrow down my focus and build my career, I also just realized that nutrition is just 20% of who I am. You know, you may see some people, you may have gone on my social media at some point and you're like, this girl don't got nothing about nutrition on her page. I do, it's there. I care about it, but it's not 80% of who I am. It's not a majority of who I am. It's a small portion of who I am. And it is that 20%. So I am happy that a lot of you have found my videos, found it beneficial. A lot of that information is still relevant. Some of it isn't, because a field of any sort is going to change with the times and with the seasons. So I've seen that. And honestly, I'm just grateful that I've been able to help, just 2 people or 3 people, even though I know it's more. You guys send me messages on Instagram. I've seen some of you guys at conferences. I'm just so appreciative that I have encouraged people to look into the field of nutrition and dietetics, which I am thoroughly satisfied in. About my hair, right now, it changes with the wind. But, having a baby, being pregnant, all of those things, postpartum shedding, I was not able to keep up with the relaxer life. My hair has grown, though. I'm grateful for it. Sorry, can't help you there. I do honestly love being a straight natural. I love not having a relaxer anymore. I really only had a relaxer because I was growing out my pixie. But once I was able to kind of get through that phase, I've just been really grateful for what my hair has done, even though it has gone through a lot of seasons of loss as well, just because of hormonal changes and things like that. So I just kind of do what works for me in the season and in that time and flow with it and go with it. And right now, being a straight natural, wearing protective styles, that's what I am. That's my jam. That's what I do. So I'm really grateful for that. As I mentioned earlier, I think I've kind of touched on all of the topics. I really want to spend a little bit more time on the spiritual wellness aspect, because I feel like it's been a part of the reason why I've always been hesitant on social media in general. Spiritual wellness is really important to me, and how I practice that is as a Christian. That's my faith journey, and that's where my faith has led me. I have been a church girl. I grew up in the church. Even though I have a very heavily science background, I still find myself my faith is just something that's really personal to me. And sometimes I've found difficulty marrying the two or finding how they fit. So I think this is the video for me to kind of lay it all bare. And even though some people care, some people don't care, I just felt like I wanted to share a little bit more about what that means for me, and also for the future of the things that I say and the content that I put out. And even if you find me on social media, what you can expect to see on other social media platforms, rather. So I'm a Christian. I grew up as a Christian. I also had my own journey in the faith where it has now been personalized. It's not about my parents. It's not about the people that I've been around. It's simply just about me. So I talked about how nutrition, a career in nutrition, is about 20% of who I am. My faith is about 75% of who I am. How I share my faith, my spiritual wellness journey, that is a large part of who I am. And that's probably what I put content out more about, because that's simply something that aligns more with how I want to share and what I want to talk about. And honestly, I have found difficulty with this area because I think coming from in a field where a lot of you work with a lot of scientists, um, people who are science based, research based, when you have a strong faith background, it kind of feels like you're a little crazy. And I know this is my personal experience. This might not be your experience, but I have felt that way. And I have felt kind of embarrassed or a little quiet about my faith because of my career, because I just couldn't see how they would fit. And sometimes I still do struggle with that. But what I've realized is that sometimes when you have a personal experience, you cannot make sense of it. And I think that's the whole point of the Christian journey. Sometimes you just can't make sense of why you have faith in a certain way, because that's simply your experience. That's the encounter that you have had. So I have kind of just settled that in my mind and settle that in why I share and why I'm loud about my faith. It's just something that I've personally walked through and journeyed through, and it feels authentic to me. So therefore, it's a large part of who I am. It's a large part of the things that I do. And when I am in certain spaces, especially career spaces, nutrition spaces, I'm always like, oh my gosh, if they go on my social media, they gonna see the real me. I be trying to block people. I'm not even gonna lie. If I'm, that's another story. Anyways, I am just here to say, my faith is a big part of who I am. It's a big part of the things that I share online. And I also share nutrition. It's just not all of me. It's just a part of me. And honestly, I am great at my career. I've been a nutritionist since 2016, a dietitian since 2018. Wow, I've been a dietitian for a while now. I thought it was shorter. While I am still figuring out all that it entails and what it means to marry my faith and also my wellness journey and how I incorporate it, I just want to put that out there because I also understand and respect everybody's journey, especially in the field of like scientists and science. So definitely what is for you will be for you. But for me, my faith journey, growing up in the church, I am a church girl. And as much as I have tried to run from it, it is the reality of who I am. So I just wanted to kind of give that preface, that welcome for the people who want to stay along and the other people who are like, when did I subscribe to this girl? Why is she popping back up on my timeline? I feel it. You can unsubscribe. I know people don't say that, but I understand if this no longer aligns with who you are and what you want to see and what you want to hear. But now I just want to feel the freedom to do what I want to do at the same time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching